Hey, what's going on? It's Derik from Virginia to Vegas, and you're watching the HangOut on YouTube.
How are you? How has your release weekend been?
I'm good. Yeah, release weekend's been pretty cool. Like just seeing all the reactions from fans and friends and family, and it's been good. I was super pumped. Yeah.
So congratulations on your EP dropping, Don't Wake Me, I'm Dreaming. Palm Springs, the lead single of the EP. What was it about that story that really pushed it to be the first song?
I mean, I don't know if I don't know if the story of that song was like more compelling than any of the other stories on the EP. But to me, it was just the most exciting song of the EP. So it made sense to like give a preview to what was to come because it's just so airy and, danceable, I think.
I want to talk about the music video. How was that creative process? Because you guys had like the isolation limitations and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty unusual to be in Palm Springs in my best friend's apartment. That was kind of cool, like when I came in the morning of the shoot and he had like, I don't even know how much sand. Like he had like two massive cardboard boxes full of sand and like made a beach in his, I don't know. And then we had to clean it up, so that was crazy. Small crew. There's just like me and him doing it, and then our model. So it was just like we were like, all right, let's. It was very much like trial and error. Like, does this look cool? Does this not look cool? Like, it was just fun. It was a lot of fun.
It looked amazing. Also, the first song, the intro, when I close my eyes, it feels like you're at a concert. Like you're about to come out on stage. That's the vibe. What was that inspiration to really open up that EP with that sort of intro?
Thanks, Sid. Well, I think, you've been to a few shows, so, like I've tried to build these kind of like interludes and intros between songs to get everyone jacked up. And for me, like, I feel like making an EP, at least what I've tried to do since A Constant State of Improvement, is to tell like not just one song be the arc, like have like the EP be like an entire emotional storyline, you know what I mean, that like goes from I guess it touches on different emotions. So to have an intro that like incorporates sonic elements of each song and emotional elements of each song, I feel like it gives the listener an idea of what's to come, and it gets them in. It's like, all right, get ready, because now we're going to be in this mood for the next 22 minutes.
Nice. What do you think that overarching theme or connecting thread throughout the whole EP is?
I didn't realize that I wrote this EP like largely about a breakup or post breakup, but it was, I guess it kind of was. Like when I look back and listen on it, it's like, Palm Springs was a true story about a good friend of mine that took me to Palm Springs, and we had this like amazing, like weekend in Palm Springs that was just like so dreamy and airy and fun. And then, we said goodbye and I moved back to Canada from California. And then looking back on past relationships and, with Cry, or looking back on, what the beginning of the pandemic felt like, or what it felt like to be isolated from my friends with Sunny Days. And then, like Told You So is, to me, is like that romantic feeling when you're like telling someone, or at least telling yourself, that you don't want to get involved because you know that if you get involved, you're going to have feelings. And then it's like Told You So is almost like I told you so to yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, so I don't know. I just feel like it. I don't know if there's an overall theme, but I feel like it just like encapsulates a time that I experienced.
Nice. What was it like diving into those like self-reflecting emotions in Told You So?
The funny thing about songwriting is I never realized what the songs are about until like 3 or 4 months later. So it's like I'll write something and I'll be like, I'm being super creative. I'm being super like I don't know. Like I'm telling a cool story, and then I like look back on it and I'm like, oh, I guess I did draw personal experience from this or that. You know what I mean?
You've been writing with other artists as well. How is that writing process kind of different from writing songs for yourself?
I mean, to be truthful, most of my songs that I've written for other artists were songs that I wrote for Virginia to Vegas that just didn't fit, and kind of brought them over to other artists and thought, oh, this song, feels youthful, so this would be great for, a guy like Johnny Orlando, or this song feels like angsty, this feels like it'd be an amazing song for Ren, or something like that. So because of the pandemic, I'm not like doing any writing with anyone. It's like writing songs with my friends on Zoom, and I've been lucky that people have liked the songs that I've written.
Nice. I want to go back to Told You So. There's the little guitar riff in there that really has like a John Mayer inspiration vibe. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Yeah, totally.
This EP totally has like a retro vibe. What was the journey like getting to this new sound?
I think with the constant state of improvement, like I brought a lot more singer-songwriter elements back into my music. Whether it be like bringing acoustic guitar or real drums, or maybe like taking away like some effects on the vocal and just leaving them to be more exposed. So on this EP, I just really wanted to like push that further. And like, to me, like Told You So felt very like 70s, and I wanted to like make it feel 70s. So, whether it be like the actual drums that we use being 70s recordings, or the guitar being like a slide guitar, something that you would hear, or just like a straight up dry acoustic guitar, So I think I just wanted to like, I listened to a lot of music from the 60s and 70s, and then I wanted to like try to do that, but do it modern and do it justice.
That's awesome. Flyby featuring Makita.
Yeah.
There's a lyric in there that says like, if today was your last day, would you be fulfilled or whatever?
Yeah.
What do you think you still have to offer in the world? Like, what do you see yourself doing in the future?
Oh gosh. Well, hopefully people still like listening to my music for years to come, and I can continue to be a songwriter and a music producer. And I mean, in terms of what's after Virginia to Vegas, I don't know. I haven't got that far yet.
Still riding the ride, living the life.
Still riding the ride.
Nice. I want to talk about your live drive-in, drop-in with Brett Kissel. How was that experience to kind of like get back out and doing live concerts?
I mean, truly, that was probably the best experience I had all 2020 in terms of like a music experience, because, I've got to do a couple live streams and things like that, but there's nothing like being able to connect with an audience. And that's always been one of my favorite things about doing music in the first place, is playing the show and then, hanging out and talking to fans after the show, and, like getting to know the people that listen to my music. Well, we didn't get to do that on this show, but I still got to be in front of a crowd and feel that energy of a live performance. And Brett's just such a gracious rock star. Like, I just love the guy so much. He's such a welcoming person. And I think his fans are the exact same way, because I felt really at home on his stage, and it was cool.
Nice. What was it like having car horns honking at you? Because usually you hear all the screams of the fans, but then you just hear the cars going off.
It was really like, well, there was 2 shows in that day. So we did one in the afternoon, and then we did one at night. So the one in the afternoon, I was like just so like on edge. I hadn't like sunk into it. And it's not like playing a show where you get to do like a full hour to get warmed up. Like, I had one song, I was on, I was off. So it was like, I got on, I played my song, and I was like, whoa, okay, that was disorienting. I don't know how I feel about that. And then by the time the second show came around, I was like ready for it. But it's really confusing. Yeah, it's really confusing.
Nice. I want to go back to Flyby. What was it like getting to collaborate with Makita in that song?
It was awesome. I mean, Makita, or John Luke, he's like the nicest dude, and he's friends of friends with my like longtime collaborator Jeff Warburton. So it was like a super easy connection. And someone sent us a message on Instagram. So if anyone watches this interview and remembers who you were, that said you should do a track with Makita, that was the reason why we did it. Someone like tagged us in an Instagram, and I like shared it, and then he responded to me. So it was like super organic. But it was great. We just like hung out on Zoom and like spent 48 hours making the song. Like, it was very fast.
That's awesome. What would you say was one of the most memorable parts in the creation of this EP?
I think probably that that co-write with Mukita, because we wrote the song in 2 days, and then him and I were like, and then I wasn't planning on putting Flyby on the album. And then I listened to it and I was like, this needs to be on the record. Like, I feel like it's the perfect vibe. So I called him and I was like, how do you feel about like pulling a couple all-nighters and like seeing if we can like really nail the production and make sure the song sounds great? So him and I spent like 2 nights back to back, like just on Zoom, sending files, him playing like keys, me playing guitar, and just like, and then we finally like, I just remember like walking my dog down by the beach and being like, what does this song need? And then like I figured out that guitar riff, and you know, he was figuring out the like the post hook, and it was just so fun. It was really exciting.
Oh, that's awesome. Going on walks with your dog, Susan.
Dude,
Do you ever find like inspiration moments in those calm, serene walks or like sitting by the water?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think when you can like take yourself out of your element for a minute and like change your surroundings, it'll also like change your perspective. I think so. You know, when I need to like listen to something to like figure out if what I just made was completely terrible or if it was great or if it was fine or if it needs work or whatever, I'll just like put my headphones on, go for a walk, and like look at them, like, you know, just like look around. And I feel like usually you get good perspective there.
Awesome. Last question. What do you want fans to take away from this whole EP?
I just want them to like enjoy listening to it. You know, like my favorite records that, you know, as a fan of music have always been ones that I could like listen to without skipping songs. And they're like records that you like the whole mood of it. So hopefully people put it on and they just like want to listen. They just want to be in that world for 22 minutes or whatever.
Nice. There are no skips on this EP, by the way.
Thank you, Sam.